Good day, guys. I've had a few guys ask me about the forming boards that I'm using, so I just kind of wanted to touch base on them, I guess, a little bit. So these I made. I'm not sure where I got the pattern from. I don't know if this is an alpha pattern or what. I can't remember anymore, but obviously it's split board and whatnot, and I've used them for the last few years. This summer I made these. They're just a tapered board. You gotta try them out, I guess, and see. I personally like the look of the fur better on these boards, so I don't usually, or this year so far, I haven't used these a whole bunch. I don't know what I made. I made 15, I think, of these tapered ones. So if I have more than 15 coyotes at a time in the drying room, I'll obviously put them on there if the other ones aren't ready. So I haven't made, like, here you can see, this is one of my fox boards. Now, it's still the what I call the old style or whatever else. I never made any fox boards on the tapered ones this year. I just thought I'd try it with the coyotes first and whatnot. So with these, everything's made out of 3/4 inch. Now what I did with the coyote forming boards is I planed them down to, I believe, 5/8 of an inch, and just routed the ends. I actually made a jig, a pattern, so then they can all be kind of the same. But with the fox ones, what I did is I planed them down to 1/2 an inch. I took them down a little bit more. That's what NAFA recommends. And the coyotes, they say 1/2 inch to 5/8 boards is what they recommend. So I took them down to 5/8 just to make them a little bit stronger. Because I did make a couple, I believe. I planed them down to 1/2 an inch. And I don't know if the boards weren't quite dry when I made them. And then being this is my drying room or whatever else, over the course of the winter, they almost misshaped, or they warped a little bit. So I left all these to 5/8 in the hopes that they're not going to do that. So then you can see over here I've got raccoon boards. I got 3 different size raccoon boards. I've got a skunk board. I kind of just use that for all of them. I've got male and female mink boards. I've got male and female ermine boards down here. This is my beaver rings. I tried them out this year. I kind of like how they look on there. They seem to work good. I had to make sure and put enough rings in them just to get them around, just so I can pull them so they look nice. And then you've got, let's see if I can show you. This will go in the back of the ring. Just because you don't want that to be round, you kind of want it oval, so then you're able to adjust and pull it a little tighter just to make your ring oval. And it seemed to work pretty good, but on big beaver, I don't think they would work too well. The beaver is probably too big. So, but as you can see here, this is a coyote that is done on these tapered boards. I don't have any right now that are done on that style. I shipped them off already to auction. So, but you can see if I can stand this up here. I'll grab this guy. So that's kind of what they look like. This one is a real nice light color. I really love the color of that. I don't catch many that are this color. Mine are always basically this color, maybe a touch lighter, some of them, but definitely not as light as this one. This one I think is a real pretty coyote. I shipped 2 already that were this color, so I'm kind of anxious, I guess, to see once it goes up in NAFA what they're going to get graded at and where they're going to sit in the lots. But so she's got really no guard hair. It's a female. I think it's a 2-year-old just because of how big she was or whatever. But every one that I caught this year, like I said, I've only got the 3 that are really light. They've always been females, and they seem to me like they'd be 2-year-olds just because of their size. It's kind of basically what I'm going by, I guess. So she's not super heavy or long guard hair. She's very well furred. This is a big male, so you can see how heavy his grotzen is. Like, he's got a big heavy grotzen. He's very well furred. He's not woolly. He's damn close, but he's actually not woolly yet, but he's got pretty good guard hairs. I don't know what they'd be, 4 inches, 5 inches, I guess. So, but yeah, just a little bit difference in the color. Oh, I guess one thing I wanted to cover too is on these Fox stretchers. So when I get them, basically they classify it as a 1x4. So obviously I plane them down thinner, and I got to cut them down narrow this way so that they're not too wide. So what I do with that excess when I cut them off, this is just a 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch chunk. Now I took it and I put it on my router, and I just routed the ends, or the edges I should say. And basically what I do now is I use that on my solid boards, just as a belly board. I've got a whole bunch, so if I can use 2, I've been able to get away with 1 and whatnot, so it's been working pretty well. So if I wanted to, I could put probably 2 in, I guess. So, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you that. So you can see, here's another Fox board. This one was only used once this year, I guess. But you can see how nice and thin that is. So, and then I had a gentleman, I believe his name is Dave, ask me about my snares and my breakaways and whatnot, if I catch deer, how they work and how they basically break away. So this is, it's 1x7 3/64 cable. I make all my own snares and whatnot. This is for a coyote ram, that's why it's so short. Wolf ram obviously is going to be longer, but so on this one, this ferrule is my breakaway. So in this province we have to have 280 pound breakaway. So with these ferrules, I use them, I can't remember what size that ferrule is, but I hammer them with just a hammer on an anvil, basically is what I do. So what they say, if you talk to some of the manufacturers, is if you crimp ferrules properly with a swager and stuff, it will actually hold 90% of the cable strength. And just talking with them a little bit, I told them, well, I hammer my ferrules on and whatnot, and it's going to decrease the strength of the ferrule quite a bit. I don't have too much trouble with them. I think there's a lot of guys that hammer them. It's plenty good in my mind for coyotes. So what happens if you catch your deer around the leg or whatever, that ferrule is what breaks. So obviously this is a used snare, and obviously I cut it. So basically, just to kind of show them that the snare is not going to come, basically you're going to catch your deer. If you do by the leg, it's going to pull tight, and when it's locked in like that, this ferrule is going to break, not the cable but the ferrule, and it'll open right up and the deer will bugger off. Ooh, and this snare will stay with the power ram, so there's nothing locked on the deer's leg and nothing like that. So earlier this year I had purchased some wolf rams. Now with every ram you get a cable. I believe this is 5/64. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what it is. These are manufactured, and these have Sullivan S hooks on it. So I've seen some pictures of breakaways with these, and basically that S hook will damn near open up straight and break away, obviously leaving the snare with the ram and whatnot. So I have seen guys on this type of snare, they'll just put a little bit heavier ferrule there, and then they'll run S hooks. And yeah, I guess a guy can do that. It's not going to hurt anything. It just saves a little bit of money where a guy doesn't have to buy the S hooks when you do it this way. So hopefully I have touched base with everything that I was going to kind of go over. Oh, the other thing I was going to show you is, usually traditionally these are brand new, never been used, but I don't have a quick connect in here, I don't think. Excuse me. So I do have one. Now these will be my snare anchors, or my power ram anchors. So obviously I'll loop it through the ram itself, through the coil in the bottom is how I do it. I know some guys don't like doing it that way. And then I'll wrap the other end around a tree and I'll just hook it through. Some guys really hate the quick connects. You can use the snap ones or the threaded ones. So I don't know where I seen it, but I seen a guy make an anchor like this. So basically how that works is you can connect your ram to the anchor and wrap it around a tree, and that'll open up real big. So you just slide your ram over top of it and it's tight. So I haven't run any of these this year. I only built a couple. I was going to try and run some, but I never ended up doing it. So, but yeah, I thought I'd show you that. So how it works is you would run it through. Say that's through your ram itself. So obviously it's locked in. Then you just wrap it around your tree. Come back over top of the ram itself. And then this is locked in on the tree. So like I said, I never used them before, but I made a couple just to try them, so I probably should try them just to see how they work, because if they work pretty well and I can eliminate the quick links there, I wouldn't mind doing it, just because some of those quick links, like the threaded ones, are nice and strong, they work really well, but you always have to carry pliers with you, but I kind of do anyways, I guess, but they freeze up like a son of a gun sometimes. So, but with that, guys, thanks for watching, and until the next time.